All right, strap in, everybody. Today we're doing a deep dive on Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The muscles from Brussels.
You got it!
Yeah.
We're going way beyond the splits and the roundhouse kicks
That's right.
to explore the man.
The man, the myth.
The myth behind the legend.
Yeah.
Because I was reading up on this guy, I had no idea.
Oh, he's got a story.
He's got a story.
Layers to this guy.
Yeah, so let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
With Jean-Claude in Brussels.
Right.
This dude starts martial arts at 10 years old.
10 years old. Can you imagine?
Oh.
Like, what were we doing when we were 10 years old?
I know, I was playing video games.
Right.
This guy's doing karate.
Dedicated, man. Dedicated.
And at 15, he has 44 wins and only 4 losses in semi-contact karate.
That's a serious record.
It's wild.
Shows you, like, this is where it started for him. Like, that's the foundation, I think, about the discipline
Yeah.
that it takes at that age to be that focused, to train that hard. I mean, it's like, it's setting the stage for everything that comes later.
Yeah, and I think that also gives him the kind of work ethic that he's known for, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because when you think about Hollywood and what it takes to succeed,
It's a grind, man.
it's a grind.
It's a hustle.
Yeah, but it's funny because it's like he had this kind of like pre-training
Boot camp.
for
Hollywood, basically.
Yeah, from the time he was a kid.
Right,
Okay, so he's killing it in Belgium.
right.
And then he decides to leave it all behind in 1982 and just head to Hollywood.
Bold move, right?
Bold move.
I mean, talk about taking a risk,
Huge risk.
leaving everything,
Your comfort zone.
yeah, your family, your friends,
Everything.
just going for it, chasing that dream.
Yeah. It's like he was just like, I'm going to Hollywood, packed his bags and left.
Must have some serious self-belief,
Yeah.
to make a move like that.
So he gets to Hollywood,
All right, so here he is in Hollywood, land of opportunity, right?
but it's not all sunshine and roses.
No.
From what I've read, those first few years were pretty rough for him.
It's tough, man. Trying to break into that industry.
Right.
It's so competitive.
So many rejection.
You're constantly getting knocked back.
Yeah, and like, how do you even get your foot in the door? That's
Right.
got to be the toughest part.
It is. But this is where you see Van Damme's, like, real personality come through.
Oh, okay. How so?
So there's this story about him. He's walking down the street,
All right.
and he sees a movie producer.
Just like randomly.
Just by chance, yeah.
Wow.
And most people would just, be starstruck or whatever, keep walking.
Right, right.
But not Van Damme.
What does he do?
He sees an opportunity.
Okay.
He goes right up to this producer and starts showing off his martial arts skills.
On the street.
Right there on the sidewalk.
Like doing kicks and stuff.
Full-on
Yeah.
demonstration, yeah. I mean, talk about making an impression.
That's amazing.
That's hustle.
Yeah.
That's like taking your destiny into your own hands.
Yeah, that's not just luck. It's like making your own luck.
Exactly.
So this hustle, this drive,
It pays off eventually.
it does. It lands him the lead role in Bloodsport.
His big break.
There's a twist.
There's always a twist.
The studio decides to shelve the movie.
Shelve it. Like, not release it.
Yeah, they basically thought it was going to be a flop.
Oh, man. Can you imagine, like, after all that work, all that struggle?
Must have been devastating.
Yeah.
Like getting so close and then having it all ripped away.
But, Van Damme, he's not a quitter.
No.
This is where his real fighter spirit shines through. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's not just going to sit back and accept this.
So what does he do?
He starts recutting the film himself.
Himself.
Yeah. Working on it, trying to make it better,
Mhm.
constantly pushing for the studio to reconsider to release it.
Wow. I mean, talk about believing in yourself and your work.
Right.
Most people, I think, would just given up at that point.
It would be easy to. But not Van Damme.
No.
He knew he had something special.
And it turns out he was right.
Oh, yeah?
Because Bloodsport eventually gets released.
Yeah. Becomes a smash hit.
Yeah.
Makes over $30 million worldwide.
That's insane on a tiny budget, too.
The little engine that could.
The comeback kid, right? Yeah.
You talk about a story of perseverance.
Yeah.
It's like a lesson for all of us.
What would you say that lesson is?
Never give up on your dreams, man. Even when it seems like all hope is lost.
Yeah, you just never know what can happen.
Exactly. And, Bloodsport is just the beginning of Van Damme's story.
Right, because we all know the cuff guy persona.
The muscles from Brussels.
But behind that, there's a whole other side to him.
That's what we're going to uncover.
Yeah, like the real Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
So buckle up because things are about to get really interesting.
Oh, yeah. This is where the deep dive gets real.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, behind the muscles and the kicks.
There's a real person.
Real person with real struggles.
Yeah, and we're talking about some serious stuff.
Oh, yeah, like addiction.
Personal turmoil,
Yeah.
things that could break anyone.
Especially when you're in the spotlight like that.
Right. You're under constant pressure.
It's like the world is watching your every move.
And judging you.
Yeah, and it makes you realize that money and fame,
They don't solve everything.
no, they don't shield you from life's punches.
It's almost like the opposite sometimes, right?
Yeah, it can magnify those problems.
Yeah.
And for Van Damme, those demons were pretty intense.
They were. But here's the thing that I find really powerful about his story.
What's that?
He didn't hide from those struggles.
Yeah, he was really open about it.
Like, he could have easily swept it all under the rug.
Oh, yeah, a lot of celebrities do.
But he didn't.
He owned it,
He did.
which is honestly a sign of real strength,
Right. To admit you need help.
especially when you're supposed to be this symbol of toughness.
Yeah, the action hero.
Exactly.
But he went to rehab,
Battled his addictions.
showed the world that it's okay to not be okay.
That's a powerful message,
It is.
especially for guys.
Yeah.
You know, there's this whole macho thing where you're not supposed to show weakness.
Yeah, man up and all that.
Right. But Van Damme showed us that it takes more strength to face your demons.
Than to pretend they don't exist.
Exactly.
And that's something I think we can all learn from.
Absolutely.
Okay, so he goes through all of this.
Hits rock bottom.
But he doesn't stay there.
Yeah.
He comes back.
Stronger than ever.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of that comeback was the film JCVD.
Oh, yeah. That was a completely different kind of role for him.
It was.
Yeah.
It was like he was bearing his soul to the world.
Yeah, it was raw.
Vulnerable.
And a lot of people were surprised by it.
Yeah, they weren't expecting that from, the muscles from Brussels.
But it was brilliant.
It was.
And it showed a whole other side of him as an actor.
Like, he wasn't just an action star anymore.
Right? He could actually act.
Yeah, he had depth.
And it led to him getting more character-driven roles.
Yeah, like he was reinventing himself,
Exactly.
which is something we can all do, you know.
What do you mean?
We can all reinvent ourselves at any point in our lives.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's about not being afraid to change,
To grow.
to step outside of your comfort zone.
And I think Van Damme's story is a perfect example of that.
It is.
Like, he could have easily just kept making the same kind of action movies.
Coasting on his fame.
But he didn't.
He pushed himself.
Yeah.
Took
Yeah.
risks.
Evolved.
Which is what life is all about, right?
It's about the journey,
The ups and downs.
the lessons learned along the way.
Exactly.
And Van Damme, he's got a lot of wisdom to share.
Oh, he's full of it.
Like, I was reading some of his quotes.
Oh, yeah, he's got some good ones.
One that really stood out to me was,
Let's hear it.
if you phone a psychic and she doesn't answer the phone before it rings, hang up.
That's classic Van Damme right there.
It is.
I love that one.
But it's actually pretty deep when you think about it.
Oh, it is.
What do you think he means by that?
Well, on one level, it's just funny.
Yeah, it's got that Van Damme humor.
But I think he's also saying, don't waste your time on things that aren't meant to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, if it's not working, move on.
Don't force it.
Right.
I like that.
And another one of his quotes that I really like is,
Yeah.
your body has enough weight for you to be in perfect condition just working against yourself.
That's a good one.
It's all about self-motivation.
Yeah, pushing your own limits.
Not relying on anyone else.
Being your own toughest critic.
Exactly.
And I think that ties into another one of his quotes that I found really inspiring.
Which one is that?
He said, I've had my ups and downs, my fair share of bumpy roads and heavy winds. That's what made me what I am today.
It's about embracing the journey.
Right.
Yeah, all of it.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Because it's all part of who we are.
It shapes us.
Makes us stronger.
More resilient.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about Van Damme's story.
What is it?
It's not just about achieving success.
It's about overcoming obstacles.
Learning from your mistakes.
Never giving up on yourself.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the life and career of Jean-Claude Van Damme,
The muscles from Brussels.
what are the key takeaways?
Yeah.
What can we learn from this guy's journey?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is that persistence thing.
Oh, yeah.
He just never gave up.
Never.
Even when everyone else was telling him to.
Yeah.
Like, this movie's a flop. You're not going to make it in Hollywood.
It's inspiring, right?
It is.
Because we all face those moments
Oh, yeah, for sure.
where you just want to throw in the towel.
Absolutely.
But Van Damme's story, it's like a reminder to just keep pushing.
Keep believing in yourself.
Yeah, even when it feels like the whole world's against you.
Yeah, and it's not just about those external obstacles either.
Okay, what do you mean?
Remember that quote about your body has enough weight?
Yeah. to be in perfect condition just working against yourself.
Exactly.
It's about those internal battles too, right?
Yeah.
The self-doubt.
The negative thoughts.
Yeah, we can be our own worst enemies sometimes.
We get in our own way.
And that's a huge part of Van Damme's story too.
Okay.
He struggled with addiction.
Yeah.
Personal demons.
Things that could have easily destroyed him.
He didn't
left them.
He faced them head on.
Sought help.
Showed a level of vulnerability.
Strength.
Yeah, that a lot of people, especially men, aren't comfortable with.
Yeah, it's like that whole macho thing gets in the way sometimes.
But Van Damme's story,
it's a reminder that it's okay to ask for help.
It's okay to not be okay.
It's actually a sign of strength, to admit that you're struggling.
Yeah, I think that's such an important message.
Me too.
So we've got the persistence, the resilience, the vulnerability.
And then there's the whole reinvention thing.
Oh, yeah. JCVD.
Talk about a game changer.
Yeah, he could have just kept making those action movies.
Which were making him a ton of money.
Yeah, but he didn't.
No, she took a risk.
He did.
Put himself out there.
Showed a whole new side of himself.
And it paid off.
Yeah, it did.
It opened up all these new opportunities for him.
It's like he leveled up.
He did.
And I think that's another great lesson from his story.
What's that?
That we're not limited by our past successes.
Right. We can always evolve.
Change direction.
Try new things. It's never too late to reinvent yourself.
So I guess the big question is,
yeah,
what's your blood sport?
I like that.
What's that thing you're passionate about?
That dream you're chasing.
Maybe it's a creative project.
A business idea.
A personal goal.
Whatever it is.
Remember Van Damme's story?
The muscles from Brussels.
The persistence, the resilience, the vulnerability.
The reinvention.
And don't be afraid to go for it.
Even when it feels impossible.
Because you never know.
You just never know.
Well, that's it for our deep dive on Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Another one for the books.
Thanks for joining us.
And remember,
keep kicking.
Keep punching.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.